Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Debate 8. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. We have an incredible show for you tonight. Tonight, we did delay this thing for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It feels like, I don't know. There's a lot going on in the country, but we are finally doing Pixar movies tonight. Welcome everybody in the chat. How are we this evening? Also tonight, the long-awaited return of Dempsey is back here tonight. That's right, you love him. He's here. Dempsey Pillett is back. Writer for Diz Insider and all-around incredible human being. I love talking to this guy about especially Disney stuff. He is so super knowledgeable. He's gonna bring it tonight. It's gonna be great. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. I hope you're excited because for Pixar, we have 8 incredible movies that we are going to be debating tonight. If this is your first time here, we take 8 movies or 8 TV shows or eight things, whatever we do, and then we throw it in a tournament bracket and you vote live to determine who wins. But tonight, me and Dempsey, we're going to give our opinions of which one we think should move on. But at the end, you guys are going to decide who is our winner. So let's bring Dempsey on, waiting in the back. Dempsey, welcome back to the show. How have you been, my friend?
I'm good. I'm surviving. 2021 new year.
Yeah.
Same me, but just trying to get by, having fun.
Yeah.
Doing collabs like this just to pass the time. Thank you so much for having me back. Always a great time here. I'm excited. Let's debate, man.
Yeah, man. Dude, the thanks and pleasure is all mine. I absolutely bring it to this show, and that's what I love. I love somebody who's gonna come in and give their opinions and their thoughts and get loud and get hyped because you love everything that we're talking about tonight. And man, Dempsey, this bracket, we were looking at it earlier today. I sent you the list. It's gonna be some tough matchups tonight. I don't know how we're gonna get through it. Let's take a look and see what we're dealing with, at least in the first round tonight. We got the number 1 seed Toy Story going up against the number 8 seed of Up. So right off the bat, that's a tough one. Number 4 seed Soul going up against the number 5 seed Finding Nemo. Number 3 seed The Incredibles going up against the number 6 seed of Wall-E. And then rounding out the first round, the number 2 seed Monsters, Inc. going up against the 7 seed Ratatouille. Dempsey, these 8 movies, this is going to be a tough one tonight. What do you think about this initial lineup here?
First of all, I gotta thank you. Well, thank everybody who voted anyway. Cars is not in here. Cars is trash.
Hey, that is not
Terrible
true.
Trilogy. The first Cars is acceptable.
It's good.
The
third one's good too.
The third one's okay, but I appreciate the fact that we don't have to debate here whether or not Cars is. These are all the best of the best in Pixar. So I'm glad that it's really going to be a very enjoyable but difficult debate tonight.
Yeah, that's true. It is a crazy. We can save the Cars for another night because I might actually be able to argue Cars 1 and 3 being pretty good. I've watched it enough in my lifetime that I think I might be able to make that argument. But hey, at least for tonight, we don't have to do that. But we are gonna start with Toy Story and Up. Dempsey. Man, okay, so we got the one that started it all for Pixar, and then Up, which seems to be, kind of a fan favorite, pulls on the heartstrings. So what do you think about this matchup right here?
This is tough. I'm glad you said the one that started it all. It's literally what I have in my notes. Because without Toy Story, none of this would be possible. There's probably an even greater argument to be made that the short films that Pixar did, and Steve Jobs was a big help too. But the feature film that really solidified Pixar as a juggernaut, even when all the other 2D films were coming out in the 90s, Toy Story for sure. And Up, it's probably the most emotional of all Pixar films. I can't think of another film, with the exception of Toy Story 3, but the Toy Story 3 is like just the ending that really tugs at you. Up, the entire movie tugs at your heartstrings. So I don't know. It's a very tough matchup.
I gotta say, okay, I can't think of a more overrated Pixar movie than Up. if I'm being honest. I think that
What?
the first part of this movie is absolutely incredible. It's so heartwarming and sad and depressing all at the same time. You get it. I think the first section of Up should have been a short. Okay, I feel like they took a brilliant idea for a short and then just went a crazy left turn to Albuquerque and extended out this movie that was fine. It was fine. It to me it's super forgettable. I never go back and revisit Up. It's not a movie that I ever go back and see. So for me, Toy Story, man, I think Toy Story, even though the animation, I hate to say this, the animation clearly does not hold up today. Like not even the littlest
Yeah,
bit. It's
agree.
actually really kind of painful to watch some of the scenes. But the story and the characters and like the themes of this movie is everlasting, and it's still that stuff absolutely still holds up today. So for me, I'm going Toy Story all the way. Forget Up, man.
That's your choice. Oh man! All right, so then we're gonna differentiate here. So I'm Up. I have to go Up, and because all right, I will give it to you that it is very, arguably overly emotional at times. It's definitely intentionally pulling at your heartstrings.
Right.
But I really blame the score for that because the score just works so beautifully throughout the film, especially with the prologue.
Okay.
But the whole film to me, it's about somebody who's trying to cope with loss, but it's really just about trying to I don't want to be corny here, but literally bring yourself up and out of a depression. And yes, quite literally, our character does that. And it's such an adult theme. There are actually other films on this list that are very mature. I would say the only other one, arguably as with an adult theme similar, is Soul, and possibly even Inside Out, but that's not on the list. But Up is just like it, and that's what really gets me to really fall in love with this film every time I see it. It's the fact that it's, once again, don't mean to be corny, so uplifting. It teaches you that there's more to life even when you don't think there is.
Yeah.
That of all the people to spark a relationship with after his wife's death, it's a little boy. He becomes a surrogate father for him. You know me, I'm a sucker for that father stuff. I absolutely love Up. I do agree, and I don't want to hurt my argument by saying this, that it does get a little bit wacky at times. You get a talking dog. Literally, I mean,
it goes off the rails. You can say it. I'll say it for you. It kind of goes off the rails at the end a little bit.
I mean, if like the guy loses so many different balloons, you would think that the house can't hold up anymore, and that's something that still bothers me to this day. But I mean, the overall message of it just makes up for it, and it's just a beautiful film about grief and just trying to make it in a world that you don't really understand anymore because you've lost the one thing that you really care about. So Up is going to be my choice.
All right, well, it's not up to you, it's not up to me, it's up to the people. The people decide this vote. Okay, I'm going to start the poll now. If this is your first time, here's how it works. We vote live here in the YouTube chat. All you have to do is vote 1 if you want to vote for Toy Story, or vote 8 if you want to vote for Up. Just remember, there is a space in between the word vote and the number that you want to do. Dempsey said he's going vote 8. I am going vote 1. Again, do it right in the chat. Right off the bat, man, we are sitting here. We are neck and neck. Oh, and just as I said that, Toy Story came in with a commanding over the top lead.
I think Toy Story is going to take it, but I stand by what I say. I think the biggest thing, and you hit the nail on the head, without Toy Story, none of these films would be here today. So I'm not mad that Up lost or doesn't look like it's going to lose, but I just you can't just knock Up, man. You can't knock Up, but you can't knock up the movie, okay?
I'll say this. With the exception of Up, I'm pretty much okay with any movie that wins. I don't know, man. It's just Up just never does it for me. But look, you're right. I'm not surprised that it's getting 35% of the vote. It is definitely a fan favorite. People love this movie, and I'm not trying to be super harsh on it. I don't know. I literally never go back to it. So, but hey, 65% of the vote coming in. I think we're good to close that out. Toy Story moving on to the next round. Man, okay, so 35% going for Up. Good showing for Up there. Okay, so let's take a look at the bracket and see where we're at. All right, 65% of the vote now going to Toy Story. All right, now this one I think is going to be a lot tougher than maybe people might think it will be. We got the number 4 seed Up and the number 5 seed of Finding Nemo. Soul just came out. We also got a great chance to see it on Disney Plus if you have it. Of course, Finding Nemo, pretty considered a classic, I would say, a classic Pixar film in the roster. So Dempsey, which way are you going here, Soul or Finding Nemo?
So, some would argue that maybe it's too soon to really, dissect Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. That's not even the reason why I'm not going to pick it. Finding Nemo, I have this written down. It's Pixar's magnum opus.
Oh,
okay. This film is my favorite Pixar film. It's my favorite film of all of these films tonight. It's a film that I literally remember seeing in theaters. It's a film that I remember rewatching. It was one night in high school where I had to study for my final exam, and I literally chose to watch Finding Nemo over studying. Can't say it was a great decision, but that's how much I love this film. It has so much to love. It's so iconic. You have characters like Crush, who's like, the surfer turtle, fish are friends, not food. You have so many iconic lines like that. Where the pelican at the end, he's like, get in my mouth, and all the birds like, mine. There's so much to love about this film.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. At the heart of it, though, is of course this incredible journey that you would never think you would see put to film with fish. We have this fish that travels literally across the world in search of his son. It's such a great story, great concept, and you have such a great cast: Albert Brooks, Ellen DeGeneres, Willem Dafoe. So many great people in this movie, and I got to choose Finding Nemo. What do you think?
So this is tough, right? Because Soul, I think you nailed it. Soul has the unfortunate thing of recency bias. It might be because it's so new and it's so fresh. I did like Soul a lot. I'll be honest though, it took me 2 times for me to really like it, and maybe that says something. I thought Soul is, to date, it's the most beautiful Pixar movie I think that they've ever made. It's like some people just don't understand how difficult it is to animate people playing instruments. It's like, if you ever watch the behind the scenes stuff of Coco, some of the behind the scenes documentaries about that, they go into painstaking detail on how difficult it was. And it was basically the first time out that they've ever done this, of having somebody play a guitar, and that the motion of just like picking a guitar and all that stuff was incredibly difficult. And they built upon that from Coco to Soul to have people play instruments, and it looks like almost seamless. Like it's almost real to life. So it was unbelievable. It was stunning. So I give major props to Soul for that. But if I'm gonna go story, I think I gotta go Finding Nemo on this one. I like Soul. It's a nice tale about living life to your fullest, and I enjoy that, and I thought it had some fun moments. But Finding Nemo is really about not only opening up and trusting yourself, but trusting others and letting go. And as a parent myself, realizing that like you can't like be a helicopter parent all the time. You just have to sort of like allow your kids to be who they are and find their own adventure. So that does sort of hit with me a lot in the right angle. So I want to disagree with you on this one. I just think for me, I'm leaning Finding Nemo as well, at least for this round, for sure.
I think you captured it really. You said it really perfectly about Soul. I had no idea about how hard it was to capture the music. I would imagine that it was probably a just as much or just as big of a challenge to do the 2D 3D switch.
Oh yeah,
that they did
I'm
a
sure
lot.
that was good. Yeah.
So that I totally admired, and I
Yeah.
not to say that I didn't like Soul. I definitely admired it, and I totally appreciate what they're doing with it. But yeah, I think I haven't had as many years to digest Soul as I have had Finding Nemo, and it's a story that like I said, I stand by. It's the best thing, maybe not visually that Pixar has done, but I think it's the best story and all around film that they've done.
It certainly is a great story, and maybe we'll come back in 5 years and see, where Soul lands when we get 10 more Pixar films. All right, it's time for people to vote. Let's throw up the poll for this round. If you want to vote for Soul, vote 4 in the chat. If you want to vote Finding Nemo, vote 5. Man, I think it's tough. I don't think this is going to be a runaway. I mean, maybe it will be. But both Dempsey and I are on vote 5 on this one, man. We are both going Finding Nemo out the gate. It looks like Finding Nemo strong lead. Yeah, I think Finding Nemo's probably going to take it. I'm looking at the chat here. I see a lot of fives coming in. So I don't know. While people are talking, let's see what people were saying. Tommy Banana says, I think we still have to see how Soul impacts a few years down the road. Yeah, that's basically what we were both saying.
That's true.
Definitely agree with that, Tommy. Let's see. Obi-Wan Dahomey says, my man is Crush in Nemo. I don't know what that means. I must have missed something.
Maybe his friend played Crush in Nemo.
I don't know. Lisa Marie says Soul has very big ideas and deep meanings, and I've seen it honestly 5 times thanks to my little one. And I think Soul gives you a different experience every time. I will absolutely agree with that.
I think so.
I've only seen it twice. You've seen it 5 times, but I've seen it twice, and I did actually get something out of it each time. And so I actually kind of agree with that. And I think I got more out of it the second time. And I feel like subsequent watches, I'm actually going to get more and more out of it. And Soul might actually climb up on my ranks down the road. But like you said, it might just be a little too early in the.
Also, I think it's definitely one of those movies that the more life you live, you're definitely going to be impacted by it, because the older you get, the more you start to really appreciate life in the first place, and that's its main theme. So,
yeah, no, that's actually a great point. Look, I'm in my 40s. I know I look like I'm 21. I know, I get it all the time. It's fine. This great skin and complexion. But truth be told, I'm teetering on boomer, so I got something out of it. But I'm sure in 10 years down the road, I might watch it again and be like, man. I'm feeling so much more out of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one to tell. All right, Soul going down to Finding Nemo. Let's check the bracket. All right, 78% of the vote. Finding Nemo is moving on. All right, we got another. I don't know. This one's gonna be another weird one, right? We got The Incredibles, the number 3 seed, going up against the number 6 seed of WALL-E. This one I think is going to be tough, man. Incredibles, we play to a superhero crowd a lot. So Incredibles, I mean, it's not just superheroes, but it's a great movie. But WALL-E, I feel like it's found its audience over the years. So how do you feel about these 2 films right here, Dempsey?
So I like The Incredibles, but I think, honestly, I just never really gravitated towards it like a lot of other people. I think it is a really good franchise. I like what they did in the sequel with it. I like the characters, but I found it to be really boring. And I know that might be crazy for some people to hear.
For shame.
It's a superhero film. It's animated. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but I just never found it to be so oh my god, I love The Incredibles. It was never had that effect on me. Whereas in WALL-E, I also feel like it's not bad. It's not. I like it a lot, but it's not as entertaining as some of the other ones. But the thing that I'm going to pick WALL-E here, in case that wasn't abundantly clear.
Figure that out.
I think what really sells WALL-E for me is just how relevant it is, and then just how ahead of its time it was with just the way that it tackled the climate crisis, and how it's still more relevant today than anything. And just, I think, yes, it's a beautiful love story between two robots, which once again, you got to give Pixar, the trophy for like just thinking out of the box. And if I'm not mistaken, WALL-E was actually one of the first films that Pixar had planned, but they just didn't have the technology to do it the way they wanted to, so they waited until later on to do it. So I love the story. I love the visuals. I love the message about saving the earth. How he has his cockroach, which is so wonderful because they say cockroaches survive the apocalypse, and that's like his sidekick for the whole movie. I really when I think about there's the one thing that it comes down to me when I'm picking my choice here is how much did I enjoy the movie, even if it wasn't the best. And I just think that every time I watch WALL-E, I enjoy it more. And The Incredibles, while it does have a great plot and a good story, it's just I've never had that. I've never been so excited to watch it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes totally sense. I think I'm going the opposite here. I'm going Incredibles. I'll talk about WALL-E first to get that out of the way. WALL-E was another one that didn't really do it for me the first time I saw it. It took subsequent watches for me to really, really like it. And I actually really like WALL-E. I think I would have voted for WALL-E had it been a different matchup. Especially what really gets me excited about WALL-E is the third act of it. I love seeing like the future of what like we're all destined to become, and how like you have to break out of that, and how this lonely robot starts like this robot uprising to like save all of humanity. It's great, and it's not that I think like the first and second act are like slow paced, because I don't, because I like movies like what's the Tom Hanks movie on the island? Castaway. Like it's very reminiscent to me of like Castaway. You know what I mean? Like that one character movie where you follow them in their life and their day to day. So I don't have a problem with that. It just I don't know. I feel like it's part of the pacing is just not as good until it gets to like the second and third act. Meanwhile, The Incredibles, I love this movie. I think it still holds up today. Some of the animation, not so much, but I think the story does. I love that The Incredibles is actually really more of an adult film than it is a kid film. It deals with more adult themes and what it means to be a parent and a husband and a wife and like all that stuff, more than it does being for these kids. So that I really get a lot out of, and I think the characters are great. I love that it's basically like a Fantastic Four movie that we that we never got a good one, and then we finally got The Incredibles. So I absolutely love, and I know it's not connected, but like they do all sorts of shorts for The Incredibles, and they're so good too, and it sort of enhances my love for The Incredibles as well. So yeah, man, I'm going Incredibles on this one. I think it's a fun family film that really gets me. So but let's see what you guys have to say. Let's go to the poll. Incredibles or WALL-E? Dempsey, let's have the people vote. If you want to vote for Incredibles, vote 3 in the chat. If you want to vote WALL-E, vote 6. I really don't know which way this is going to go. This is the first one I'm not sure.
I have to give that to you.
Which one?
Edna Mode.
Oh,
such
dude,
an icon.
Edna Mode, Wifejecture. My wife is obsessed with Edna Mode. Do I have... yeah, you know what? I think I can grab it right here. Okay. So... Look, she's even got like this little Edna Mode, like little doll here. Obsessed with Edna Mode. Very, very
and
big
it's the
in our house.
director who does the voice, right? That's so great.
Yeah. Man, and Incredibles doesn't win. All right, I gotta boost up Incredibles a little bit here because it's about to lose. The score, Michael Giacchino's score in The Incredibles is so good. It like mixes modern superhero themes with past like 50s and 60s tones to it. Oh my God, it's so good. You guys are underappreciating The Incredibles. What is happening? We're having a major upset right now. The 6 seed is about to upset the 3 seed. WALL-E, the little robot that could, is about to do it.
In WALL-E's defense, though, you want to talk about how The Incredibles pays homage to like the original movies of the 50s and 60s and like that whole generation.
Yeah.
WALL-E's essentially a silent film, which is what I really like about it. And for the most part, it relies heavily on the actions more than the words. It isn't until like the third act that you really get to hear people talk. So that's another thing I really appreciate about it.
That's true. Great points. Those are excellent points. And I'm sure you'll expand upon that in the next round, because Wall-E is making it. It is moving on to the next round, man. 61% of the vote. We got our first upset of the night. Actually, not true. Finding Nemo technically was the upset, but the 4-5, that's not necessarily a big upset. But man, number 6 seed of Wall-E is moving on to the next round. Let's go ahead and go back to the bracket. Let's take a look. Wall-E making it to the second round. All right, Dempsey. This one is tough. This next one is going to be super tough for me. I love both of these movies. We got the number 2 seed Monsters Inc. Going up against the number 7 seed of Ratatouille. You know, and I'll do a little plug right now, since I'm going to talk about it in a second. If you are a member of our Discord, I did exclamation Discord in the chat. If you are a member of our Discord, what we do is we vote in the Discord before the not like right before the show, but the week before the show, we vote on which 8 should make it. And so you guys decide the seedings, which is awesome. And I was so bummed when I found out that Monsters Inc. was going to go up against Ratatouille in the first round, because personally, I think either one of these on my own personal list could have won the whole thing. So matching them up in the first round really hurts my heart. But Dempsey, how do you feel about Monsters Inc. going up against Ratatouille?
You stole my words, man. I literally, I was going down the list, and when I saw Ratatouille, I immediately predicted that Ratatouille would make it at least to the second round. Yeah. But then I was like, wait, what about Monsters Inc? And then I was like, wait, Ratatouille and Monsters Inc are against each other?
It's the luck of the draw.
Very hard argument. Love Ratatouille. Absolutely love Ratatouille. It's very funny. It takes this concept about, you know, food and criticism, and it really elevates it in a way that makes it enjoyable for people of all ages, which is incredible. And it's actually come back now. It's I want to say that not that it didn't have a cult following before, but it only had a musical on TikTok recently. It's like it's become like this whole thing now.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't have a TikTok account, but yeah, it was like this whole thing. And Titus Burgess, I think that's his name, from the incredible Kimmy Schmidt played Ratatouille. It was like this. It was literally like this whole thing. They did it for charity. But yeah, it was started off on TikTok. Bottom line, but what I'm trying to say is that it's like definitely become very relevant today for no other reason other than the fact that people are rediscovering it, which I love, and I really like the movie. But Monsters Inc. You cannot, to me, I think Monsters Inc. And you know, it might make a difference the fact that I saw Monsters Inc. as a kid, and I saw Ratatouille as I was growing up. But Monsters Inc. Beautiful story about friendship that transcends, you know, age, race, species. It's so imaginative. You know, you have all these. It takes a story, once again, talking about an idea that you normally wouldn't think of. Kudos to Pixar again about these monsters that aren't really monsters. And I don't know. It's something about that. And the fact that you know, we never got the sequel. I would have much rather seen a sequel than a prequel to know what happened at the end of the film. But something about that, I think that's a story and a theme that just transcends time itself. You can't. And while Ratatouille is a story about friendship too. Mm-hmm. Man, it's really hard. But I gotta give my vote to Monsters Inc.
I know, man. This might be one of the toughest of the night. God, I love Monsters Inc. so much. I love this movie so much. I'm a sucker for Billy Crystal. Just in general, like anything that he does, like I love. And the chemistry in of these two, him and John Goodman, so good throughout the film. And man, the ending of this movie gets me every time. I've seen this movie a million times, and I still like are holding back, choking back the tears every time he just walks in and sees Boo at the end. I'm just like it crushes my brittle little heart. But I gotta be honest, man, I think tonight, and I would change my mind like every other hour, but I think tonight, I think I might be leaning Ratatouille. It literally, Ratatouille on certain days might be my favorite Pixar movie. And not only is the animation stellar, but like the whole idea of like anyone can be anything, like that, they literally permeate that throughout the whole movie. I love that idea. I love how it's a discovery of yourself on both characters, of both
Linguini.
Linguini and Remy. I love that, and you know what? I love the fact that like at the end, like it's a super happy ending, and like at the end of the day, like he gets his dream. Like they both get their dream of running a restaurant, being a chef, and Linguini like just being a part of something and finding love. Like it's such a great ending to me. And I don't know. I think just for today, like I might, if it was tomorrow, I think I might choose Monsters Inc. But I think for tonight, I think I'm going Ratatouille. I absolutely love both of these movies. This is like the Pixar Sophie's choice for me in this first round.
I can't fight with you because you're right. And I think probably one of my favorite parts about the movie is the ending, how realistic it is. They find out that a rat is running the restaurant and they shut it down.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that they didn't go like, oh, you know what, we'll make an exception, you know, and then they had a happily ever after. They're so realistic to it. And that's something I still appreciate to this day. So I would be happy with whatever is chosen tonight. But honestly, I feel stronger about Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going to do in the chat, so let's find out. I'm going to have to read through some of the chat for you guys to see what you guys are leaning. If you want to vote Monsters Inc. exclamation vote 2. If you want Ratatouille exclamation vote 7. Let's see here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Red Raven says the Disney Plus series for Monsters Inc. is supposed to be like a sequel that they're doing. Oh, that's cool.
Yes. No. Yes. All right. Monsters at Work. It takes place a couple years after Monsters Inc. and it follows new characters, but Billy Crystal and John Goodman are supposed to return. It's coming to Disney Plus, but they don't know when. Okay. It wasn't announced at Disney Investor Day, but it is in development. That's what I hear. Awesome.
Great. Tommy says Ratatouille is all atmosphere. Felt like there could have been more heart to the movie. Still really like the film though. Okay, so good world building according to Tommy, but not a lot of heart. Mike Porter says, wow, I love both of these. Ratatouille hit me good. Patricia says this matchup hurts my heart too, Adam. I'm telling you, man, it hurts my heart, but it's clearly not for you guys, man. Monsters Inc. crushing it. See, I knew that something was up when Monsters Inc. in the Discord poll became the number 2 seed. At first, I was like, I almost couldn't believe it. I almost couldn't believe that was a thing. So I guess I shouldn't be shocked that you guys love this movie so much. I mean, Dempsey, you love it. So
but honestly, I could have seen this going either way because I saw somebody said you can't go against the classic, but to me, I think both of these, Ratatouille in its own way has really become a classic. It came out over a decade ago.
Yeah.
If you think about that, and Monsters Inc. I think makes 20 years this year.
Don't tell me that. That makes me feel so old.
Mind, man.
That makes me feel so old. Oh my god! And it's generational too, man. My kids love that movie. Was I shocked it was a 2 seed? I was shocked that it was a 2 seed. I honestly, I thought maybe Incredibles was going to be higher. I thought Ratatouille would be higher. There's a lot of movies. I thought Soul, the recency bias would get that, but I guess not. So, all right. Well, we have, let's close out this poll. We have Monsters Inc. with 74% of the vote, man. Moving on. That's a really good showing from Monsters Inc. I think definitely going to push it far into the next round. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket and see where we are at. All right, so now we got the number 1 seed of Toy Story going up against the number 5 seed of Finding Nemo. Man, I know it's got to be tough for you because you just went on and on about Finding Nemo. Are you going to make the same argument that Finding Nemo is better than Toy Story? You said Finding Nemo was your favorite Pixar movie. Are you holding true to that?
I am. I have to because Toy Story without Toy Story, Finding Nemo wouldn't be in existence. But yeah, you just have to take that and say that, they took everything that made Toy Story great and all of the films after that made it great. And I think they really reached maybe not their last pinnacle of success, but I think is my personal favorite pinnacle of success with Finding Nemo. They got everything right. They hit all the perfect beats. Once again, it's a story about the journey of love and just how real love really does take you on a journey, and they really manifest that journey quite nicely within the ocean. And to think that in the very beginning, and this is something that I think we all remember, where Nemo says, "I hate you." Right? You have. I mean, my son's not old enough to say that to me, but I'm pretty sure he will one day. All kids eventually do, but they don't mean it. And for the parent, Marlin, to look past that and to still travel the world to find his son, it's almost like, this might be blasphemous to say, but it's like Dante's Inferno, traveling through all the circles of hell just to save the one thing that he has, the most important thing in his life. And that to me transcends that. Toy Story is fantastic. Not doubting Toy Story or any of its influence in animation or anything over the past 20 some odd years. But I have to go Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Toy Story. It's a class. It's such a classic film. There we go. That was so weird.
I froze.
Yeah, on a great shot too. What's so funny about Toy Story to me is that Woody is such a D-bag in this whole movie. Like he's like the Woody we know now, like from Toy Story 2 and 3 and 4 and like everything in pop culture. Like he started out like a real a-hole, and I kind of love that. I kind of love that character arc overall. And in fact, I'm sure Dempsey, I'm sure you know this, but some people out there may not know. Woody was supposed to be like way worse than even that he was for this. Like the original script and a lot of the you can look. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but like you can find like original like script readings with Tom Hanks and like early like animation shots. Like storyboards, and like he was way worse. Like Woody was really mean. They really had to tone him back a lot. So I find that extremely funny. And it's all about identity, right? It's about understanding that like you may not be somebody's number one, but that doesn't mean you aren't number one to other people. And for Buzz, it's all about realizing that like your identity of who you are, and then maybe you didn't realize who you were at first, but being something different is okay. I love that. And Sid is such a nasty little kid. Just it's violent, man. Just like blowing up dolls and like killing things. It's so crazy. I love this movie. It's a lot more adult than some of the subsequent Toy Stories. So I definitely find appreciation of that. I just wish, what I really want, Dempsey, and I know this is never going to happen. I really want them to not like reboot Toy Story, but I just want them to like redo it. Same script, same voice, not even like re-record, just like take the audio and just like put a skin over it, like just reanimate it, because it's so good just the way it is. It just needs like a 2021 like animation style. I wish they would do that.
And I think it's more likely that we'll get a live action adaptation. Than,
oh my god, that would be so weird.
They're gonna start They're gonna start remaking all the Pixar movies when they finish doing all the Disney classics. I'm calling it.
I just want to say for Trinity in the chat, I didn't say it was too adult for kids. It's definitely not too adult for kids. I just said that it was very adult. Like adults can find a lot of stuff in this, and it's just not strictly for kids. So I just want to be clear. I don't think it's too adult for kids. My kids watch it. My kids love it. My 2-year-old watches it. He absolutely loves it. I just think that adults can find more out of Toy Story 1 than they necessarily can in like Toy Story 2 per se, which I think is a little more, on the kiddie side.
It's definitely more playful. Yeah. But I totally get what you mean, man. It's a really good story. As much as I love Finding Nemo, I wouldn't be mad if Toy Story 1, because like I said, with it literally, like, you could tell everybody at Pixar and Disney put their heart and soul into this. Yeah. And it showed, because it created a generation of animated classics that followed it. So I'm not even mad at it.
This is going to be a tough one either way, I think. And I'm very interested to see what the people have to say. All right, this is for the finals, right? Go, whichever one wins makes it to the finals. What do you want to see there? Do you want to see Toy Story? If you do, exclamation vote 1 in the chat. If you want Finding Nemo, exclamation vote 5. Yeah, I'm going vote 1. Dempsey's going vote 5. We're all over the place on this one. It is neck and neck. I feel like this one might come down to like the last person in who's gonna vote. But look, Finding Nemo right now, a quick lead out the gate. I'm seeing a lot of 5s in the chat. A couple of ones.
I'm nervous.
So make sure that if you're gonna vote, I see a couple of people may have done it wrong. Just do exclamation vote and a space and then the number. Streamlabs will tell you if your vote registered. If you didn't see Streamlabs seeing your name, then you did it wrong. Just do it again, and your name will pop up if you do it correctly. So, man, Finding Nemo had an early lead. Toy Story now climbing back, making a comeback. We got a couple more votes coming in here at the end. Oh, man, it's going back and forth. I knew this one was going to be close. Look, there's a lot of Finding Nemo love out there. I really like this movie. I picked it last time. Wait, did I pick it last time? I don't know. I didn't. But I do really like this movie. I even, you know what? I didn't hate Finding Dory. If I gotta be honest, it's not my favorite Pixar movie. But I feel like as a father and a parent, I think that movie hit me a lot more than maybe it would other people. Finding Dory.
Really?
And yeah, just the idea of like losing your kid and like seeing that or and like having like they had really like no way of helping to protect her so much.
Yeah,
and it just that. Like, oh man, like it I'm such a weak person sometimes when it comes to like kids and parents in animated movies. I'm just like my heart falls apart. I don't know.
Same. We spoke about this before with a Goofy movie. I feel the exact same way.
Right.
So.
Right.
Well, it's tied. It's tied.
It's tied. I think we got Hello There just came in with the last vote coming in. Let's see if it registers. I think that's going to put it over the top once it comes in.
Ugh.
It didn't. Wait, where is it? Come on. Oh, maybe that was the tying vote. Oh, man.
What do we do in the case of a tie? I've never seen this before.
So in case of a tie, usually I let the guest decide which one goes in. I'm going to give it till 10 more seconds. If anyone didn't vote, 10 more seconds. And then in 10 seconds, you guys... Oh, we got a couple more coming in. Of course, we had
people are using their second accounts.
We had one of each, which is nice. So now it's still a tie. It's still a tie. That's great. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, man. I love it. Wild. I love it. It's great. Yeah, everyone's flipping the table. They're calling it rigged. I love it. This is awesome.
People
all right.
are signing into their alternate accounts.
Yeah, right. Right.
Oh man. This is wild. This is fun. This goes to show the love that people have for both of these movies.
All right, I guess we're gonna have to run it again. We're gonna have to run it one more time. All right.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. Did somebody
voted?
I think we got a winner here. Finding Nemo. Looks like somebody changed their vote. Look, you can't. Here's the thing. Wipe it. Wait. All right. Let's hold on. We're just for the sake of making sure that we get the right one. We're gonna do it again. Okay. I'm rolling it again. No one can say no. I can't do a timer, Jim. Can't do a timer. Timer's broken. Unfortunately, the timer's broken. You know, right now voting is sort of like making a bag of popcorn in the microwave. Right? You set it. And you kind of wait for like the kernels to sort of stop popping. You know, you gotta feel it out. So let's do it one more time. All right, Toy Story, exclamation vote 1. Finding Nemo, exclamation vote 5. You can't vote more than once. It doesn't let you vote more than once, but you can change your vote. I just want to make that clear. If you vote 1 and then change your mind and vote 5, it will allow you to change your vote, but you can't vote twice. Even if Streamlabs tells you says your name again, it doesn't matter. I can promise you that it won't register it. All right. So here we go. We got
So close.
Toy Story coming in. All these votes. I love it. Thank you all for hanging out here tonight, hanging out and voting. Such passionate people about Pixar. I love it. All right. Now I haven't voted yet. But we got some.
Voted.
There we go.
I did vote.
We got some new people coming in. Okay, we got once again tying it up. All right, so I guess I gotta be the tiebreaker, because I held out a little longer to see if my one vote was gonna make the difference, and I think it will be. So I'm gonna hit enter right now into the chat. Exclamation, vote 1 is going to be my pick, which means Toy Story is going to be our winner. That's it. Send all hate, care of Adam at Fanjecture, please. Come in. Give me.
I've seen people trying to vote still. Oh man, it's fantastic. I'm fine with Toy Story winning. It's fine. It's great. This is great. You love to see it. These are the moments that we love to see on this show.
This is where everyone leaves, honestly. No, this is great. You guys are awesome. Luckily, I know everyone here is all Clerks Gate, Prestige Gate. There's a lot of close votes that happens in debate 8, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. It's all good. Let's go to the bracket and see what's next. Okay, Toy Story moving on to the finals. All right, now it's time to see seed 6 WALL-E going up against seed number 2 of Monsters Inc. Okay, Dempsey, this one I think is tough. WALL-E got a lot of love. Monsters Inc. surely got a lot of love. Is there any way you think WALL-E is going to overtake Monsters Inc. in this round?
Well, these are both the choices that I had. I love both of them equally. And I mentioned before, WALL-E it's so different and such a wonderful story. It's relevant. It's still relevant. It was relevant at the time it came out. It's more relevant now. It's more of a silent film, right? I said that. But Monsters Inc., man, you can't go against Monsters Inc. Once again, it's such a beautiful story about friendship, and it's so iconic, with all the doors and how they go back, and it's such a simple story. It's actually a very short film, but it takes you on such an adventure that you don't even care about all that. And you even said it yourself. The ending gets you every time, where Mike gives him, it's like, hey, Sully, I got something for you, and he puts the little thing in the door, and Kitty! Oh my god, it gets me every time. So I gotta give it to Monsters Inc. I love WALL-E. You guys know this. I said it already. The Monsters Inc. I can't defend Finding Nemo now in the finals, so I need something that's just as strong. And I would say if Finding Nemo is my favorite film, then Monsters Inc. is definitely my second favorite Pixar film.
I think this is going to be super interesting because I've been reading the chat this whole time, and you guys are like very, very hit or miss. I think this is going to be another close vote. I said before, I thought I liked WALL-E a lot, but I really absolutely love Monsters Inc. So I'm glad this made it to the next round. I think it deserves to be in the finals. So let's get to the poll here because I just want to jump into this one and see what you guys have to say. Not too much arguing here for me and Dempsey. I echo everything Dempsey says. I think Monsters Inc. absolutely deserves to go to the next round, but it's not up to us. It's up to you guys. Which one do you want to make it to the next round? Exclamation vote 6 for WALL-E. Exclamation vote 2 for Monsters Inc. Dempsey, I think this is going to be a runaway, honestly, but just based on how
I saw a lot of people talking about WALL-E though. I could have been wrong.
No, you did, but I can't imagine that based on the last round of voting where it just absolutely crushed Ratatouille, a movie that I thought could win the whole thing. And look, so yeah, this not as close as I thought maybe this was going to be because right now 68% of the vote crushing it right now. Monsters Inc. Whew. All over the place here. I think the power of the monsters and The scream, man, the power of the scream and the laughter. It's just too much. It's too much for people. They can't handle it. Monsters Inc. is crushing it.
It is. Yeah, man. It's wow. Oh man, it's so. I hate when it's so. These are all good films. But that only makes the debates even better. So
yeah, Obi-Wan Dahomey says not a number 2 seed by accident. No, that's what I'm saying, man. We shouldn't be surprised. You guys voted this in as the number 2 seed for a reason. Man, okay. I think we're not going to need to run this one too much longer. 63%. Everyone's like, I'm out. Tim's out. Tim's leaving. Wow, he said at the beginning of this, if Wally was not moving on, Tim was out.
Oh no.
Okay, so we got what are we calling this? 65% of the vote going to Monsters Inc. Whew. Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, look, we got the number 1 seed going to go up against the number 2 seed. Sometimes it goes chalk, and that's fine. But hey, man, there's a lot of crazy discussion going on. But it comes down to this: we got the number 1 seed going up against the number 2 seed. Toy Story up against Monsters Inc. Dempsey. I feel like I have to go Toy Story. I feel like it's the one that started it all. It's still one of the best to me. I feel like my nostalgia for it, because of the animation not holding up, is still like, it's pushing me forward. I love Woody. I love Buzz. There's 2 perennial characters. It's multi-generational. I loved this movie when it came out, when I was, I guess, what year did this come out? 98, I want to say. Right? When did Toy... Hold on. I feel like an idiot.
1995, no?
No, you're probably right. 95. So I was 15 when this came out. So I was a teenager and I loved it then. I've loved it for 25 years. My kids love it. I have a 2-year-old son, absolutely loves it. So even for that long, it's kept going. And the story is forever. I absolutely love Toy Story. How about Paul Newman's score or songs? Paul Newman, Randy Newman. Paul, could you imagine Paul Newman doing songs for this? Randy Newman, and you got a friend in me right off the bat. Like it's still a song that's over and over again in these movies and the theme. I'm going Toy Story. Tell me why I'm wrong, Dempsey. Tell me why Monsters Inc. should win this whole thing.
Monsters Inc. is a great film. But I'd be lying if I said... Look, while you were talking, you're absolutely right. Like,
did I turn you?
I think you did turn me. I'm not going to lie. Because Toy Story is multi-generational. It has a universe that's been established, not across a couple of years, like 25 years. 25 years, 26, going to be 26 years. The thing that turned me, though, in addition to everything you said, is it started it all. And I think the best film that I think had a chance at beating Toy Story was Finding Nemo. I said to myself, if Finding Nemo loses this, even if Monsters Inc., as much as I love it, it makes it to the end. I don't think it has a chance against Toy Story. And that's only for the simple reason that look at the top of the poster of Monsters Inc. from the creators of Toy Story. It makes a case for itself on its opponent. So I for that simple reason, I have to go with Toy Story. And yet Buzz, like Mike and Sully are good characters, but Buddy and Woody are iconic.
Yeah, they are.
Wait, Woody and Buzz. I said Buddy and Woody. What was wrong with me? It's too late. It's past my bedtime.
I was gonna say like it's a great pairing though, right? Because Buddy and Woody and Buzz,
Woody and Buzz,
great pair. But Mike and Sully, equally a great dynamic pair, and the fact that it's almost very parallel, right? Because Woody and Buzz hated each other at the beginning of the movie, and then they became best friends at the end. And they really like they went through a great transformation, right? They were our best friends, and then they basically don't want anything to do with each other, and then they had to come together at the end to solve the problem, and realize their differences. It is a great arc in that. So, and it's funny, man. It's so funny. Like the movie is absolutely hysterical. I love it. Billy Crystal is a gem, and he's like he makes Mike. Right, Mike Wazowski would be nothing if it wasn't for Billy Crystal.
Absolutely right.
Man, it's tough. I'm leaning Toy Story. I might have even talked myself out of it into going to Monsters Inc. I don't even know. They're both so good.
I think one of the best things you said too is the fact that they've revisited this film. Not to say that they haven't revisited Monsters Inc. and like we're gonna get another a show. We had a prequel, but like this, like those you could argue are essentially cash grabs. Whereas these characters in Toy Story warranted you returning to the universe because you got to see them grow up. As you said, you got to see Woody become a different person over the course of the years. Ultimately, even after changing owners to, opting to be on his own. To decide what that life is, and it even leaves the door open to revisit the world again in the future. Yeah. So I think it's called Toy Story, but it's really like a toy series. Like it's this world that you've just become beautifully immersed with, and it's something that I'm not going to say that Mike and Sully aren't iconic, but I mean definitely Toy Story's the more recognizable one. It's the one that stood around the longest over the past 20 some odd years, and it's not for a coincidence. It's because it's that good. So I'm gonna say Toy Story.
I will say I saw someone in the chat earlier, Lisa Marie, said Toy Story is a classic, but Woody takes 4 movies to develop as a character. Buzz never changes. Monsters Inc. has dynamic characters. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy or it's too late in the night. She's not wrong though. I mean, like, yes, they do have like individual character changes. It's not like nothing, but the way that they did structure Toy Story, Woody does take a long time to get to Bonnie, to like be accepting of the whole Bonnie thing. So it is a long story for sure. And yes, Mike and Sully go through a bigger arc in a shorter period of time. And I gotta say this, I do want to push back just a tiny bit. I don't think that Monsters University was a cash grab. I mean, all movies are cash grabs. We know that, but like, I really liked Monsters University. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the way that they played on the whole college experience in like this world building, I thought the world building was great in it. I thought it was very funny too. Yes, I think I would have preferred a sequel over a prequel, but I'm actually very happy with the prequel we got. I don't think it ruins Monsters Inc. I think it just adds to it. So that's probably just me. I know I'm probably in the minority on that one. But I did enjoy that movie a lot. So, all right, but let's see what you guys have to say. It's time to vote for the finals. Toy Story, Monsters Inc. Which one do you think should win the whole thing? If you want Toy Story to be crowned our winner tonight, exclamation vote 1 in the chat. If you want Monsters Inc. to be our winner, exclamation vote 2. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Get your votes going right now. Toy Story, exclamation vote 1 right now is our leader. Monsters Inc. making a nice showing here. Man, this is gonna be close. I don't know which one's gonna win. I hope Toy Story wins. Won't be upset if Monsters Inc. wins though.
Same, but I understand, like, man, it's so crazy to think like all the journeys that these characters have had. Yeah. But like, I'm not mad that they if they win, which it looks like they are. But man, so hard to debate.
Yeah, and both these movies super early on in Pixar's career, right? So a lot of great storytelling, and not that they're not still doing great storytelling, but a lot of really perennial, long-lasting storytelling happening early on in the Pixar annexes. I guess, if that's the right word. Uh, we're not aiming for the truck. What a great line from Buzz. Saving the day. I just love in Toy Story how like they're basically ready to just like let Woody die like at every turn. Like these guys were supposedly friends like for years, right? Growing up together, and then like in an instant they turn on Woody like on a dime. It is hilarious. It makes you really think like what kind of a person Woody was all of those years, that they're just like, it kind of sounded like you did something bad, so you are canceled. Like, oh, right off the gate, like you're done. Like I don't even want to hear about it. It's so great. I love it. All right.
To me, I just can't believe that it was Tim Allen and Tom Hanks all those years, and they still did the voices. All this, like it's so crazy to me. There's so much talent back then, and they came back to do it every time. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks I thought was the perfect Woody. Tim Allen was the perfect Buzz. I thought they just nailed the casting and the voice acting.
Same thing with Billy Crystal. Yeah, it's just they really good job at casting.
And even John Goodman. We haven't talked too much about John Goodman tonight, but I thought John Goodman his performance was great. Like when he needed to be loud and boisterous, he was, and when he needed to be soft with Boo and like more gentle of a character, like he had the range of emotions there. It's so stellar. It's so good. All right. I think that is it. We have a close one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of the night, we have Toy Story with 55% of the vote coming in. And you guys have voted. Toy Story is going to be our winner. Let's go to the bracket. Man, Toy Story, a long journey it took to there. Beating Finding Nemo, beating Monsters, Inc. Dempsey, are you happy with this result?
I'm content with it. I really wanted Finding Nemo to crack into at least the top two, but yeah. I'm content. They're all good movies, so you can't really be mad here.
Yeah, I agree, guys. What a great matchups. Great bracket here. You guys crushed it with your votes tonight. It was awesome. Now before we go for tonight, we got a preview next week, and of course, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday here in the Americas and the United States, we have the Super Bowl. We got a great Super Bowl coming up, and to honor that, we are going to be doing football movies. That's right, we're going to be doing football movies here next week on Debate 8. Man, Dempsey, we got some crazy ones on this list. If you guys, the voting is open in the Discord. Remember, join the Discord. You guys can help vote in which movies are going to be in football movies. Dempsey, man, some great football movies out there. Like Remember the Titans, Jerry Maguire, Varsity Blues, Rudy, Any Given Sunday, Waterboy, like all sorts of great football movies. Are there any football movies off the top of your head that like are favorites of yours?
The Replacements.
Yeah.
Please, you got that?
Yeah, Replacements is a great one.
Another one. Sandra Bullock. What's Sandra Bullock?
Oh, Blindside.
There we go. Is that on it?
Yeah, that's on the voting list for sure.
Yikes! It's it's so crazy. I didn't think there were that many football movies, but
yeah,
sounds like a good time. I'm excited to see what wins.
Yeah, I got a list of 18 on the Discord, everybody. So make sure that you are jumping in, join the Discord, vote for which 8 are going to make it in next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Dempsey, my man, coming in, talking Disney, talking Pixar. I love it. Thank you so much, my friend, for coming in.
Anytime,
hanging out.
Man. Thank you so much for having me.
I love hanging out with you. Let everybody know what you got going on and where they can find it.
Well, as you mentioned before, I'm a writer for the Diz Insider. If you guys aren't already following them on Twitter, they have some amazing Disney news every day. Disney scoops. We got a bunch of Disney scoops. We get them before the trades even get them, which is phenomenal. Great site if you aren't following them. Adam knows who they are. I also have a YouTube channel called Palot Productions here on YouTube. Where actually I have an interview with the co-director of Soul that I'll be posting later on this week. Kemp Powers, you guys ever heard of him? He actually wrote One Night in Miami too. So something you guys should look forward to. I highly recommend you check out my channel. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you again, Adam, for having me. Really do love it, and I cannot wait to be back.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely have you back. We'll get another great topic, and we'll do it, guys. I just put Dempsey's Twitter in the chat, so definitely go over, follow him. It's got all of his info over there, and you can find all the goodness that Dempsey does online and on your favorite internet places. All right, Dempsey, my man, thanks for hanging out tonight, buddy.
Thank you, Adam. Always a pleasure.
All right, everybody. That's it. That's our show for tonight. Thank you for coming in, tuning in, clicking on that video. If you can, give the video a thumbs up. Give it a like. If you are new here and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more goodness. Debate 8 isn't the only thing that we're going to be doing in the future, so make sure you're subscribed so you can get more awesome movie-related content. That is it. That's all we got for tonight. So until next time, have a great one, and we'll see you at the next debate. Have a great one.